Welcome to the Fantasy Scholars. Today I'm going to be ranking the top 20 first basemen. Now instead of going from like 20 to 1, I'm going to be putting the players into like little categories called tier lists. Now we're going to go from bronze, silver, gold, diamond to elite because I like to start from the bottom and then go up because it's more exciting. It's just more exciting in that way. And these players are basically kind of similar because I felt like it makes more sense to just kind of put them in their categories because leagues vary in terms of scoring and settings. So we're just going to put the players into the respected tier category. Okay, here we go. Kicking off is the bronze tier list. Now I have Carlos Santana, Yuli Gurriel, Joey Votto, and Ryan McMahon in that list. All very similar players in terms of kind of weak for the most part, but they have some nice upside to do really well. Like Ryan McMahon is actually a really solid hitter for the most part in terms of power. So I like him kind of in 2021. Joey Votto has been a sleeper list on a lot of people's list. And Carlos Santana is now on a Royals team that he's going to be playing every day. So that's exciting to see. He is 34 years old, so maybe he can bounce back and have another solid, great season. And Yuli Gurriel is actually my favorite in this bronze tier because I feel like he had a really down 2020 year, but he's proven that he could be a 300 hitter, and he's on the Astros, and I think that he's going to be pretty solid this season. Moving into the silver tier. Now, these are players who are a little bit more exciting, definitely more exciting. You have Eric Hosmer, Josh Bell, Mike Moustakas, and Rhys Hoskins. Now, my personal favorite out of this list is Josh Bell. I've talked about him before and how he's a sleeper this year and has potential to be very good. He's got great power upside. Eric Hosmer is a guy who's on a great team, another player with great power upside. Mike Moustakas has been solid throughout his career for the most part. I expect him to bounce back. He's a nice guy you can look at. And Rhys Hoskins is another similar player that has been hitting like 230, but he's on a great team and has that power upside to be a very valuable first baseman. Moving on to the gold. Now these players we're getting up there. We're getting some nice players here. So Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Paul Goldschmidt, Dominic Smith, and Max Muncy. Now these are guys who you're going to be like, well, they should be higher on the list. And they could be. I think I'm going to keep them in gold, though, because I'm just not completely sold on them like the other guys that I'll talk about in a bit. Now, Vlad Jr., he can break out in 2021. And I know I released a video saying, like, I don't know if he's quite ready to, but I think he still is going to be a superstar. So you got to look at Vlad Jr. He can hit a ton of homers and be an elite hitter. Paul Goldschmidt had a really kind of iffy year in 2020, but he's been one of the best first basemen in the past like 8-10 years. So definitely look at Paul Goldschmidt. He's a fantastic hitter. Dominic Smith is on the rise for the Mets. He is on the rise, and he is ready to be a legit first baseman for that team. And Max Muncy, and I know he's really interesting because here's the thing. Every season since like 2017 or 2018, so I can't entirely remember, but he's kind of like decreased in terms of like contact rate, and he's kind of gone down, but he's still a very good hitter on a fantastic Dodgers team. Look at Max Muncy. He also plays many positions too, and most of these guys can play a couple positions, but first base is their first baseman for the most part. They're all first basemen. Okay, moving on to Diamond. These are the first basemen who are just real good. They're almost the elite first baseman, but not quite there. We've hit really the top first baseman here. I believe we have 9 more first basemen to go, so we're beyond the top 10. And so I have Pete Alonso, Luke Voigt, Matt Olson, and Anthony Rizzo. A lot of guys I like in here. My personal favorite going into the season was going to be Luke Voigt. I think he's got great power potential. He hit 22 home runs last year, which led the majors. Anthony Rizzo is Mr. Consistent. He has been so consistent for so many years. Matt Olson is fantastic. He's one of the number one guys on that A's team. And Pete Alonso is a guy who is going to hit 50-plus homers, possibly. I will say that I think he will hit the most homers this season. Pete Alonso, and the Mets are getting even better. So look out for Pete Alonso. And moving on to the elite tier, the best, in my opinion, the best first baseman in fantasy for 2021. Freddie Freeman, Cody Bellinger, Jose Abreu, and DJ LeMahieu. These guys are elite. First of all, Freddie Freeman is the best first baseman in all of baseball. I think most people agree with that. Like, he is absolutely elite. He will be off the board probably in the top 10, top 12, so look to get Freddie Freeman. Cody Bellinger. Now, keep in mind, Cody Bellinger is not a first baseman in CBS leagues. So, yeah, so that's kind of interesting. So, if you're not in CBS leagues, he will qualify as a right fielder, center fielder, and first baseman. But Cody Bellinger is legit. He could wind up being one of the best players this year. Jose Abreu was the AL MVP last season. He is so consistent, just like his North Side rival, Anthony Rizzo. They are both so consistent, have great power, great average. Jose Abreu is fantastic, you guys. And DJ LeMahieu, the guy can hit 340, and he's developed power into his game. He's on the Yankees. I don't need to explain it more. He is fantastic. Thank you all for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and let us know if you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see some more. See you guys next time.